Greetings, Portage First United Methodist Church. This is Pastor Michael coming to you from my office here at the church, and I wanted to begin with our Monday News Roundup. I hope all of you are doing well and continuing to pray without ceasing. Pray during these days of COVID and during these days of social separation, and during these days when most of our services are being live streamed. The Monday News Roundup is here so that we can continue to remain connected to each other and continue to do the work of Jesus Christ in the world. Please remember Bishop Trimble's admonition, our churches are not closed, our churches are mobilized. We are out doing the work of Jesus in the world. Toward that end, I'd like to remind you to continue to write your letters for the prisoners in our prison ministry program and beyond. You need to use this kind of plain, basic notebook paper, the kind you probably remember from when you were a child. It has to have the blue lines and the red lines, and just like this, just like you remember seeing from when you were a kid. And we need you to use a black ink or a blue ink, but it has to be ink. You're not allowed to use crayons or markers. I do apologize that I made a mistake yesterday in the sermon, but your kids can draw pictures and just write an encouraging message to the prisoners at this time. During these days of COVID, they are spending up to 21 to 23 hours in their cells a day. All the programs that they have for improving themselves and rehabilitation are currently suspended. They're not able to take the classes. They're not able to do the counseling. They're not able to meet in small groups. So this has been a rather despair-laden time for them. And so what we want to do is send encouraging messages and to be the peace and the encouragement of Jesus Christ in their lives. So again, use this kind of notebook paper, the kind of notebook paper you remember from when you were a kid, and use black ink or blue ink and write your letter of encouragement with no personal descriptors. Then bring that letter here to church, and our prison ministry team will go over the letters and make sure they meet the standards of the Department of Corrections, and they will mail those letters out on your behalf to encourage the prisoners. I also wanted to thank our church for the work that you did with the angel tree. I don't know if you're aware, but this year we took on more angels than we ever have before. All the angels from the angel tree were taken. Everyone has been doing their shopping. Everyone has been fulfilling the obligations that they brought on themselves as an act of self-sacrifice and love, and we are truly thankful. I wanted to remind all of you to bring your angel tree gifts to the church by Thursday at 4. And remember to attach the angel to the outside of the gifts, and you need to bring those to the church by Thursday at 4 p.m. And they're planning on picking up all of those gifts by Friday morning. So Thursday at 4 is your last chance to bring your gifts for the angel tree. Our youth group will be meeting next Monday on December 14th at 6 p.m. on Zoom. If you need the login information, go ahead and give the church a call, but Trish Ham Johnson has been working very, very hard. She also wanted to let the parents know and the youth know that you can sign up for Remind. We use Remind here at the church for text messages, and she has created a special youth group text messaging program. And you'll get basically news updates the way we do for the church if you sign up on Remind. So again, youth group will be meeting next December 14th at 6 p.m. Also wanted to remind you that Christmas Eve is coming up, and we will be doing a live watch party of the Christmas special on our Facebook page. The Christmas special will be then placed on our YouTube page, but at 9 o'clock on Christmas Eve, we're all going to gather around our screens and watch the Christmas special. We've got special music by our bell choir ensemble. We have Janice Grafikis playing some beautiful pieces. We have folks reading beautiful poetry and reading this Christmas story together. Pastor Deb will be giving a meditation, as will I. It will be a very special evening together. And then, following that at 10:30 p.m., we can all come to the church for candlelight and prayer and singing Silent Night together to commemorate the moment of Christ's birth. A couple other small things that I wanted to let you know is that tonight at 6:30 p.m. on every Monday, we'll be continuing our Advent study, Christmas in the 4 Gospel Homes. If you weren't able to make it last week, you can still come this week, and each of the lessons can stand a bit on their own, and we'll review any pertinent information from the previous passages, so if you haven't joined us, please do so. Again, if you need the login information, it's available to you on our Facebook page, or you can call the church office. I have a second section of this on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. So if you'd like to join us on Wednesdays at 11, you can do so. Although I admit, last Wednesday I didn't have anyone sign in. So I'm going to try for one more week, and if it doesn't happen, then we'll just stick with our Mondays. I wanted to remind you also that we still have plenty of copies of our Advent devotional, plenty of days left to continue to prepare our hearts for the arrival of our Lord Jesus Christ in our hearts yet again. And finally, Reese Funeral Home has made a generous gift to our church with these wonderful desk calendars, and these are free to anyone who wants one. So if you want one, just go ahead and come into the church and pick one up during our office hours, or if you'd like, we can bring one out to your car. Remember to wear your mask and to appropriately social distance. Well, dear brothers and sisters, this Advent is sure to be something truly special. And I invite you to continue to remember the lost and the brokenhearted, and to remember that Jesus came for the outcast and the widow, for any person who suffers the slow martyrdom of loneliness. And so during this season, I want you to remember, I want you to think about the people in your life and think about ways you can support and love them. Think about the neighbors up and down your street who may need a pick-me-up or may need an encouraging word. And that would make you a messenger of hope, a proclaimer of God who makes a straight way for God, a voice crying out in the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord. Be in peace, dear friends. We are loved. We care about you. And as always, if you have any prayer requests, send them to us at pfumccares@gmail.com. You can also call the church office, and as always, your pastor is available. So go be the church. Go and be the church. We're not closed. We're mobilized.